you strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you could possibly imagine.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Bulldog here. I am finally back home from vacation, so I'm back to my normal setup. You guys can see me now. It's good to see you all. We have a big update today to talk about. A lot of newer players complaining about it. We've got another bronze nerf, basically. So we're going to get into this. We're going to dive into it and talk about what the changes are and why I see a lot of people upset about the wrong change. So it's pretty simple. There's not a lot to go over, but this is going to have a big time impact on the game. Let's get in here and let's look at what's going on in this update. So first off, it's talking about the SPS B&B cake farm and a new syrup pool. This is based on this is for the liquidity pools, things on PancakeSwap, some things on the Cub DeFi platform. So I'm not going to go over what exactly that means. Basically, they've increased some rewards there. And if you're into liquidity pools, if you're interested in SPS liquidity pools, SPS B&B liquidity pools, there's some extra rewards there. There's actually some really nice rewards there, so you should go check that out. Mine's currently staked because I want to earn vouchers with it, so I'm not moving it over there. But this is something I might actually look into once the voucher airdrop is done, because there are some nice little rewards there. But I do have a video that talks about what liquidity pools are and how you can go join them. So if you're interested in that type of thing, go check out that video. This video is more focused on these DEC battle rewards update. So not too long ago, they did a change that changed some of these rewards. Nerf the bronze rewards, because the return on investment with this game was just kind of misaligned. So previously, and as we're going to see, is still a problem, your return on investment, your ROI, actually decreases the further up the leagues you go. Yes, your rewards increase as you go from silver to gold, from gold to diamond, diamond to champion, but your actual return on investment significantly decreases because it gets so expensive to climb the ladder. It gets very, very expensive, especially if you're buying. So a lot of people were simply opting not to climb the ladder. They were just sitting at bronze. That was kind of the big problem, was having accounts sit at bronze with literally zero power, not getting any cards, funneling everything into another account, just sitting at bronze and farming. We also see some people sit at silver, sit at gold, and farm. And there weren't enough incentives to move up leagues. So they changed that a little bit, added some things in there, and they feel like it's not enough. So they are doing even more. So there's two things that they're doing here. And the one that a lot of lower level players, a lot of bronze players are freaking out over is this one right here. So it says in the next few days, DEC rewards will be removed from ranked battles in Bronze 3 and Novice League. So you will not earn DEC from winning ranked battles if you are on Novice League or Bronze 3. So these are basically your lower level players. In order to get to Bronze 2, you only need 1,000 power. So people are freaking out about this because they maybe don't have 1,000 power yet. And I feel like it's kind of misguided. And this almost might even be like a distraction from where the real complaints for those players should be. Now, I personally like the change. I'll talk about that. So I think it's going to be good for the game. But I understand why bronze players are upset. But right now, to get 1,000 power, if you were to go rent that with the price, I just looked it up, the price right now on October 21st, to get 1,000 power would cost you less than 2 cents. It would cost you less than 2 cents. You guys are already paying $10 to rent the spellbook. Another 2 cents a day in order to be able to get DEC rewards is just not that significant. I'm not saying you guys should like the extra 2 cents a day. Maybe this is going to drive up the price of that, but even at 4 cents a day, 6 cents a day, it's very, very cheap to rent 1,000 power during the season. And this is going to make it so that those bots and alt accounts that had literally zero power, were playing with zero power because they were sending off their other cards, they're not going to be able to get any battle rewards now. And most likely they'll just rent 1,000 power. And so I don't know, maybe if you've got all of these bots renting 1,000 power, it might drive the price of power up a little bit. We'll have to see. But this isn't really the part to be be freaking out about it. And getting the rating is not that difficult. If you know what you're doing, now maybe getting the rating when you first play and you might have to learn the game a little bit and learn a few battles. If you understand the game, getting the rating to get up to bronze 2 is no problem at all. If that's where you're struggling, come to my Discord. We can help you. We can look at your battles and finding out what you're doing wrong. If you can't get up that high, you're probably just making some very simple mistakes, and we can help correct that. Even playing with the starter cards, you should be able to get more power, or sorry, a high enough rating to get to bronze 2. It's just a matter. It's where you learn the game. Now, again, if you just downloaded it and you don't understand the game, maybe you're kind of struggling a little bit. It might not be that easy, but once you learn things, you should be able to move up. But this part right here, let's move on to the next part. I think I beat it to death that the first change is not a huge deal. This change right here, though, this is the half of a sentence that is going to drastically change the game. They are now changing the reward share calculation from the square of a player's rating to the cube of a player's rating. So there's a long formula that factors in various different things that determines how much DEC you get whenever you win a ranked battle. The largest portion of that was your rating squared. So that is why DEC rating or DEC earnings when you first start playing ramp up quick. Because when you go from 200 power to 400 power, or sorry, 200 rating to 400 rating, you don't just double your rewards there. It's squared, so you're multiplying your rewards by 4 times. When you go from 400 to 800, you're multiplying your rewards 4 times. Again, I don't know how exactly that stacks with the other ratings, so that might not be exactly true. But it's the concept is true, that part of the calculation is going up 4 times. So your rewards spike very, very quickly. Now it's going to be cubed, so it's going to be even more of an impact. Your rewards or as you increase your rating, your rewards are going to increase even more and more. And that might sound like a good thing, but remember the reward pool is distributed. There's a set amount for the DEC rewards, and they are distributed to players based on these calculations and the amount of battles they're winning and everything through the day. But that DEC pool is fixed. So now with this rating being cubed, rating is going to play more of an impact in how much DEC you get. So the higher rated players, the players up at Diamond, up at Champion League, their earnings are going to increase more, or their rating calculation is going to increase more. So they're going to now take a higher percentage of the daily battle earnings than the lower level players. And I don't know where the break even for that is going to be. I don't have enough data to do that calculation. That's going to continually change based on the distributions of ratings across the league. So I don't know at what point what players benefit from that, whether it's gold players and above are going to benefit and gold and silver and below or not. I don't know the distribution there. But this is something that people are not complaining about, but I don't want to say that you should, but this is the one that's going to hurt lower level players the most. So if you're a lower level player complaining about not having enough power or your earnings being nerfed, this is the part that's going to change that. And I know we're going to hear it. Everybody talks about in this game, oh, the rich get richer, and this is a pyramid scheme and that type of thing. And I've got a whole video dedicated to that, by the way, because that's the one complaint I hear more than anything else is people saying, oh, this is just a pyramid scheme. And that's I'm going to make some people mad, and I might have some unsubscribes from this comment below, but calling this a pyramid scheme is complete BS and a lack of understanding of the overall economics compared with any other game. And I'm going to have a whole video dedicated to that, so I'm not going to get into that. But this is going to reward higher league players more than lower league players. And the whole goal is to give more incentives for you to increase your power, increase your deck so that you can compete at a higher level. Because right now, there just is not that incentives, because the return on investment actually decreases as you go up in leagues. So people have found that, why would I bother having one champion deck when I could make more money running 10 silver decks or something like that. Like, you could get that for the same price and make more money doing that. Unless you're one of the top players in the game that are earning thousands of dollars from tournaments, then it just doesn't have that return on investment. That's something that the game has to fix if they want, if players are gonna move up and there's gonna be long-term sustainability, because it doesn't make any sense. There's no game in the world where it should make sense for you to not want to progress because it's not worth it. Your rewards aren't worth it. Your rewards aren't increasing as you progress through the game. So it's something that, for the long-term survivability of this game, if they want this to become big and mainstream and even continue to grow, I know they just hit 1 million players, but it can grow so much bigger to 10 million players, to 50 million players, to whatever. The rewards have to be distributed appropriately, and this is something that's going to take that step, and it's going to be a big change. What this is going to do, the bottom line is, this is going to increase card value significantly, because players are now going to want to move up, and they're going to want to buy better cards or rent better cards, because right now it's kind of hard to rent for gold or for Diamond League. And I suspect that might change a little bit. There's going to be more people wanting now to rent those cards, which I don't know. Maybe it'll drive up prices and then it still won't be profitable. I'm not sure, but it's going to increase players' desire to level up and play at higher leagues, which is going to increase card values, which will help the game in general. So I think this will be viewed more favorably once Chaos is out and we've got a lot more cheaper cards, and it's not quite as expensive to go level up cards to play in these higher leagues. I know there's going to be so many people upset about this because they just can't afford to rent or to buy the cards to get up to play at the higher level rewards or higher level leagues, and their rewards are going to be nerfed by this. But it's a distribution that has to be changed in order for the long-term sustainability of this game and of this economy. And I don't know. I know I'm gonna have a lot of angry people commenting on this video who are not going to be happy with this change. But they talk about it as with any reductions or changes to rewards. We understand that some players will be upset about the change. But the reality is that with the card rental system, it's never been cheaper to increase your collection power, and it's of a vital importance to the game economy, and all long-term players that rewards earned are proportional to the assets held. And it's true. It's going to tick off people, but it's true. I know I've said that like 15 times. And there's to move on to the last part, there's two more things. Minting update. Basically, all of the token, or they're getting to the point where all of the initial SPS that they minted is running out. They minted enough to cover like rewards that are being handed out. They're gonna have to mint more in order to provide those rewards. That's all expected. That was all set up in the white paper. There's going to continue to be more minted over time. They're just kind of giving you a heads up that there's going to be another batch minted, which can change some of the calculations you might see on websites and things like that. They're working on, instead of minting them manually and kind of doing it in batches, they're going to automate that, so it's just minted as it's needed, and it'll make things look a lot better, and then it's going to be a lot nicer. But they don't have an ETA on that. But that's all back end stuff that doesn't really have any impact. Just kind of giving you guys a heads up of what's going on. And then there's some API updates for third parties that basically don't mean anything to most of you. Anybody who it means anything to is already aware of it and knows what's going on. So I don't need to talk about it there. But the big thing is that battle rewards are about to be changed, and there's going to be more incentive for people to increase their card power. So I know we went a very long-winded way of talking about all of this, but it's a big deal, and I don't think people realize how big of a change this is. I see so many people in general chat complaining about needing 1,000 power to now earn DEC. 1,000 power is absolutely nothing, and if you don't have the few cents a day, now I don't know. Who knows? Maybe this will make drastic changes, and it's going to be extremely expensive to rent power. And if it goes overboard, then I'm sure they'll kind of look at scaling things back or what they need to do to make some changes there. But at this moment, the power change is just not that significant. And if you can't afford 2 cents a day to rent, maybe you shouldn't have bought the $10 spellbook. I mean, like, I know that's gonna sound like I'm being mean, but we're talking about a 2% increase or sorry, a 6% increase in price for the first month of playing. That's not that big of a deal. The big deal is going to be the distribution of battle rewards. And if you're wanting to complain about rich getting richer and all of that type of stuff, that's the part that you should be focusing on, because that's the area that's going to be a huge game changer. So let me know what you guys think. I'm scared to say that, to be honest. I'm scared to say that, but let me know what you think in the comments. I think there's going to be a lot of angry people about this, but it's necessary, and I don't know. I'm like I said, I'm going to work on a video about the complaint that this game and a lot of NFT blockchain games are pyramid schemes. We hear that so much. I actually didn't realize how popular an opinion that was until recently, but you hear that all the time, and when you kind of analyze things in more depth and compare it to your standard games, it just doesn't hold up and doesn't really make any sense. So I'm going to break that down a lot more in a future video, and I hope to have that out maybe this weekend. I've got so much to do catching up from vacation, so much to do, and so hopefully there's going to be a wave of content coming this next week. But I've got so much research to do, so many videos to put together, both on Splinterlands and looking at some other NFT games. If you guys feel like maybe this isn't the game for you, or you just want to add more games on top of it, that's what I'm doing, adding more games on top of it. Be sure to stay tuned, because I'm gonna be breaking down a lot of upcoming games and what I think on those, and giving you guys some other options for your NFT gaming experience. So stay tuned, guys. Thanks a bunch.